watching plays and scores retold. In this podcast the game unfolds. Every try and tackle shared. Legends of the field, none compared. Echoes of cheers, the crowd gets loud. In this audio space, we feel so proud. Pass the word, let the speakers blast. Rugby tales from the present and past. Through the airwaves, our spirits cast. In this rugby love, forever vast.
Julle, wat 'n naweek van Currybeker was dit nie?
Ja, nogal interessant, ne?
Ja.
Waar wil julle begin by die eerste game?
Ja, ek dink ook die Currybeker is one thing we've seen now with the Curry Cup. It's high scoring games, and I think that's the way the Curry Cup. We were speaking about it before the Curry Cup even started. I always say that it's like almost like a super rugby B league type of rugby that they're playing, you know. But it's nice. That varsity cup is always very attacking, more on the attack and a lot less on the defense, you know. And you can see it also the way that they're playing, and nothing wrong with it, because that's the trademark of the Curry Cup. How it's always been for the past few years. In any case.
Yeah, and I think that attacking brand really makes it attractive. But, you know, I think that there still have been some instances where, like ourselves and the Bulls, and also I'd say the Cheetahs this past weekend, once they remembered how to play rugby, you know, suddenly there've been some good defensive passages as well, right?
Yeah, and also if you look the way on the defense on the Curry Cup, the way the defense is lined, it's much a deeper defense. Where in URC they more on the flat defense, you know, and the rush defense.
Yeah,
and obviously the guys are much more, you know, they train more for their attacking skills, because they stand much more. How can I put it, deeper. And not in line, you know, on a flat defense. It's like the old rugby where you're standing skew, whereas in URC you're standing flat defense and rush defense. And I think you can't really teach the guys at this level that rush defense and that flat defense at this stage. I think that comes with experience, you know. So, but yeah, still a very good brand of rugby. Very nice to see, to look at it each week.
Yeah.
Interesting one for me. Now you can go, Moya.
And I was just going to say, not the best of weekends for my Super Brew though, but otherwise, yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting for me. I think it's the first time I saw it. The Pumas and the Cheetahs game. Scrum off, scoring 5 tries in the first half. Oh, what the hell? 3 from the Cheetahs and 2 from the number 9 of the Pumas. Have we ever seen that before?
No, I don't think so. That was actually quite something.
And he's actually only the substitute number 9, eh? So, and he scored so many tries. So I think he flipping got his place there. He's got his spot back there in that team, in the Cheetahs team, yeah.
Yeah.
There were 6 tries from the Scrummers from both sides. 4 from the Cheetahs and 2 from the Pumas. And then,
Maar ek sê die eerste helfte, Pieter. Eerste helfte was het 5.
Ja, dat het 5-3 en 2, ja.
Ek het het nog nooit gesien nie. Nog nooit. Miskien daai tyd met toe Will Guinea gespeel het, kom jy dalk so iets verwag het, dat hy 'n hat-trick sou kry, maar dis min dat die oppositie ook soveel 3 teen jou aanteken het. Beide is skrimskakels.
Ja.
I want to say, by contrast, the actions of the Griquas 9 led to about 2 tries, maybe 3 by Boland on Sunday. So, some nines really, really, put their hands up. Others maybe not so much. But look, anyone can have a bad day. But wow, I was, I almost hurt my neck shaking my head so much.
Unfortunately, I didn't see that game.
But we're also talking about Boland. They're going to develop into a big team, with Alves Free also there. And
Yeah.
with Puerto Iman also that they've got just for the duration of the Curry Cup. They've obviously got the financial backing of those, with Rupert and a few other Stellenbosch guys there. So I really think in the years to come, they're really going to be a force to reckon with. And you can already see how their rugby has improved. And that's why I say we must be very careful in playing in Wellington this weekend. It's going to be a tough one. I hope the weather is dry because it's rainy season there by them. So I hope it's not raining too much. So it will be interesting to see what we do. This will be our first test, real test, I think, when the Curry Cup.
I think so too. And it's really that where, we have to go in with the mindset of, look, this is a team who beat the Cheetahs. This is a team who narrowly lost to the Griquas. And, when you also look at the quality of that loss, there were times where, it looked like it was all Boland. Maybe they tired a bit close to the end. And I think maybe that's the trick, is we need to, we really need to just push them. But also a thing to remember is, so far, they've lost an away game and they've won a home game. So if we're playing them, at their home, best believe they're going to have their tails up. And I think the rain, I know for Cape Town there's supposed to be rain Saturday, like a lot of rain on Saturday, and then no rain on Sunday, but not so sure about Wellington. But yeah, you could see with the Cheetahs, when they played that first game, a lot of very tired legs and a lot of people cramping up, because, after a while of like running in essentially a swamp, like, your legs are going to be really, really tired.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Me and Peter had a long discussion yesterday on Wynand's group about the same thing. And he's also pro Boland like you guys. I see you guys are also on the Boland wagon. Yeah, but I'm not really scared of Boland this weekend. Like I told Peter, yes, they're going to be a dangerous team, but it's not going to be in the first season or the second season. It's going to take time to come back to it. One thing is that the teams they've played, Cheetahs was not on the game they played against the Cheetahs. Let's be honest, the Cheetahs weren't close to what the Cheetahs can do. So to take that as a margin is a bit shaky. Then the Griquas game, I didn't see the game because we had power outage. I only saw the last 10 minutes of the game. But then again, the Griquas again lost to the Pumas, like they've been doing since the last 7 games. And then the Cheetahs come and run over the Pumas.
Yes.
So it's a bit of up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down. For them to play the Lions, I think they're looking forward to it because that's how they're going to measure themselves. Playing against the Lions, playing against the Bulls. So yes, they will come out all guns blazing. Yeah. But we have the experience with the URC guys, some caps of the URC. I think we will still pull it through. I'm not going to say we're going to run away with the game, like Wynand said, but we can score 4 tries and we can get the win. 5 points is not out of our. I think we will do that definitely. Not running away with them, but we will get 5 points on the log.
Yeah, definitely 4 tries. I think that's the way of the Curry Cup. I think if you don't really score 4 tries, because again, it's much more on the attacking system. So I think or most teams will actually score 4 tries, except for the Sharks. They've got the worst team in this whole Curry Cup. And talking about the worst team, I'm still saying, and I said it the other day. I think on Brul back on Niels, that I think that the Lions have been working on this under 19 and under 21 teams for a long time, and that's why it's paying off with our youth. And if we also listen to what Nkosi was saying on Saturday, he said, well, it's cheaper for us. He was saying it. That's what I like about him. He's a straight shooter. He tells it as it is. Where Cash always, he comes with a turnaround and he talks. He doesn't shoot straight with his commentary and his analysis of a game. But of course, he said, well, obviously the youth guys are cheaper, for us at this stage, and it's been for a few years. But that, I must say, that's where the Lions have got an advantage towards the other teams, because they go in there by experience. I'm talking about the Bulls and the Sharks especially, that by experience guys. We actually develop guys, and it pays off in the Curry Cup, and maybe we will be a better team this year in the URC. I think it's going to pay a bit more dividends this year, I think, because I think the guys have been gaining some experience. I mean, a guy like Crappy, just 2-3 years ago, he was like a junior. Now he's a senior in the team and he's a Springbok, So that experience is also going to count a lot for the Lions in the long run.
Oh, exactly. And I mean, I like the point that he made about, like, for example, someone like Nico Stain is only 22. I still remember him making his URC debut against the Dragons, I think in the second season of URC. And here's a guy who has how many URC caps now? And in some ways, it's great where supporters of other teams are like, no, but Lions are fielding a URC team. I'm like, well, the reason we're doing that is we don't have money enough to say, like, we've all this experience in. So how many guys do we have who are under 24 or even under 23 who now have double digits in terms of URC caps because it was a necessity for us? And now it pays off at Curry Cup level. And, I come back to what I was saying last season about, okay, if we have a spine that's running through that team, that's a spine we need to try keep together. And, when we're doing rotations, let's make sure there's at least a set spine when we do that.
Exactly. And I mean, we won down the 19 Cup last season, and we were in the final in the under 21s. So obviously that pays off, and those are the guys. A lot of those guys that are playing, and I agree. We've got the most experience from all the teams, and the Bulls, with regard to the Curry Cup. I think we had like 400 caps, of URC caps of the guys that are playing. But on the other hand, we still had 17 guys that are not in the Curry Cup team. Maybe we don't have like the teams that don't have 30 of their top players there, but we still don't have 17 guys. So it's not our URC team, I mean, definitely not.
Yeah, because I was just going to say, it's like if we saw this team selected for a URC game where everyone was healthy, like even the 17 guys who are unavailable, if they were healthy and that, and we said, okay, we're starting this team for a URC, how happy would fans be? I have a strong feeling fans would be like, what are we doing? Why aren't we playing this one? Like, these are not are guys who were like, yeah, I need this guy in every URC game.
Exactly what I want to ask, Moya. A lot of people, they say we're using our URC guys, URC capped guys. Now, what I want to pick your guys' minds with is, what is a cap to you guys? If you get 3 minutes off the bench, do you really deserve to have a cap for that game? Where do you put the boundaries? If you play 20 minutes, you deserve to get a cap. If you play 40 minutes, you deserve to get a cap. Or if you start the game, you deserve to actually get a cap. What's your opinion on that? For me, if you start, you get a cap. If you come off the bench, then half a cap. But I wouldn't call that a cap.
Yeah, but the stats say, no, it's a cap. It's the same with Valérie Leroux getting his 100. Even if he just played 5 minutes, he would have got a cap.
Mm,
And I know where you're getting it. But yeah, they take that as a cap. But I mean, almost 400 caps. We have to be honest to say that, that even if the guys just played every flipping game just 20 minutes, you're still getting that experience. But yeah,
yeah.
it's yeah, what you're saying, But I mean, a team like the Sharks, I wonder how many caps are in that team. I don't even think 5 or 6 of URC. And I heard what Neil Powell was saying the other day. He said, no, they're building a team, with their depth and so forth. But shouldn't you
Mm,
have done that quite a long time ago? And me and my son, because he's obviously also a big rugby fanatic, but he's a Shark supporter, unfortunately. But he said,
ah,
for him, the guys, even if it's a Curry Cup, they must still win. You must still be.
mm,
It's like the URC guys sending a second team for the Championships Cup. It's stupid. I mean, the guys are going to laugh at you to lose flipping 64, 5 or whatever. It's ridiculous. Do you want to tell me in the whole of the Sharks territory they don't have the depth to actually be making it losing by 10 points or 15 points, be competitive?
mm.
I mean, that doesn't make sense. And that's where I say the Lions are really have an advantage on the other teams with our youth.
Yeah, and the Bulls team was actually saying something. The Bulls coach, sorry, was saying something about that, where he was like, "Look, some of the other teams need to be a bit smarter about how they put their teams together because it's fine to have your juniors in, but when I think about it, Sharks and Province are currently where we were in 2022." That horrible Curry Cup season, or was it 2021? It might have been 2021. That horrible Curry Cup season where we essentially lost every game. I think we won 2 or something by the end of it. It was just bad. But when you look at the names who were in that Curry Cup and how and how they've come up, great. But it's not a good look for your players where like losing's one thing, but that points difference. I mean, Sharks are in like negative 100 and something points. They are. I mean, to have scored 1 try in 2 games and conceded, what was it? I think it's 14 tries they've conceded.
Goodness. Yeah.
It's a lot. It's really,
Yeah.
really, really a lot.
Yeah. I'll be worried for the Sharks in the hold, as a union. I'll be worried about that. And I also hear what the province are doing now. They're pulling up their, because, a lot of the younger guys come from the Cape. So they're pulling in a lot of under 20 guys into their team
Mm,
now for this. But shouldn't they have done that 2 weeks ago? At least a
mm,
week ago. I know the guys were still playing, a game a few weeks ago, that the under 20s, but
mhm.
surely you should have thought about that. How was their planning before the time, for this whole tournament? And I'm sure Nkosi, because he's in the structures for a long time, he did his
Mhm.
homework very good, and I can see that, paying off for the Curry Cup at this stage.
Yeah.
Did you guys hear what Dobson said? Did you guys see the article about what Dobson said about the Stormers team or the province team?
Mhm.
Uh-huh.
I don't know if it's fake news, but something along the line that Jake White did with after losing the URC final. He said something around like Curry Cup. We're not too focused about it. We know we're not going to win it. We're focusing on the URC. So that intentionally tells the players already, you know what, we're not expecting you to win, so just go there, show up,
Mm,
and I'm not worried. So
yeah.
that's
Yeah.
a bit breaking fake. Then a good thing. But if that's true, then he's gonna get the same boat as Jake White, maybe.
Well, the unfortunate thing is, Dobson can also sit back and say, like, well, hey, look, I'm not coaching the Curry Cup team, so look, and it's like, hey, our focus as a union is this and that, and I think JP Peterson said the same thing for the Sharks, where it's like, yeah, our focus is to win URC and win Champions Cup. And then a few sentences later, it's like, yeah, but we really value the Currie Cup. It's like, you've literally said you don't. In fairness, I think preseason, Nkosi also said, like, yeah, look, the union has its priorities and everything, but we're here to win this cup. Like, and I think what's nice is that our union's actions are backing that, and the same with the Bulls, where, we're not just throwing in whoever. Like, if I'm honest, as good as the province under 20 or under 21 guys are in that, it feels a bit strange to me to throw more of them into the mix, especially when you have guys who, I'm like, the fact that in their first game, they had the likes of Skosan there, they had, some guys who had that experience, like Steve Sotole is there, that sort of thing. Like, I would say lean more heavily into that than to say, we're just going full youth. That said, if it's now a lost cause, because I think for both the Sharks and Province, if they lose their games this weekend and get no points, I don't see them being able to make the playoffs no matter what happens to any of the other teams.
One round, definitely not. They won't.
Yeah.
I think if you lose 3 in this competition, then you have to hope other teams also lose 1 or 2. Otherwise, you're out. And I think they know
Yes.
that. For me, I think it's the Lions, Bulls, Cheetahs, and Pumas. Maybe the Cavaliers, the Burland, have a chance to get in. If one of the other teams just slip up, maybe take a match not seriously. But I think my 4 teams is going to be Bulls, Lions, Pumas, and Cheetahs. Griquas and Cavaliers have an outside, but then the other teams have to fail some way for them to come in.
Yeah, true.
Ja, nee, Pieter.
Vir my sal dit wees, en ek wou nogal gedink het daarin daai 4 spanne, jy weet, wat sou die antwoorde gewees het van ons 4 ouens nou. En dit is goed jy sê nou nogal daai 4 spanne. My 4 teams that I would rate for the semi-finals, obviously Lions and the Bulls. And then I think Boland, and Niels, jy het gesê daar's so 'n sagte plek vir Boland, and I just feel that Boland's got all the talent, and that area isn't supposed to be under like the Pole, shouldn't be under Western Province. They stole that whole territory. That's the Boland guys.
Yes.
But in any case, I think Boland and Griquas, that's my 4 teams.
Before the weekend, if you ask me my top 4, it will obviously be Lions, Bulls. Cheetahs would have been there. But I would have actually put the Pumas or the Griquas in on 4th place. But I'm going to sound like a hypocrite now. I'm going to give Boland a chance to get into a 4th place. Because I think the only 2 teams that they're really, really going to struggle with is the Lions and the Bulls. So if you lose only those 2 games, but now already lost 1. So that's going to be, I think it's going to be between Boland and Griquas to get that 4th place. Pumas and Boland. I don't see the Griquas going to get a 4th place.
But that's the weird thing with the Griquas, right? It's like, especially with their loss to the Pumas, I was like, nah, you know what? The discipline there really let them down. They almost threw it away against Boland now this past weekend with just, the problem was, and I don't only blame the scrum off there, it was more than one player doing it. There were times where they got a bit too frantic and tried to be too fancy with offloads. And, the offload wasn't on, and still someone's going for this offload and intercept. Try. Oh, no, intercept. Try. And I think that's where it's a bit tricky, right? Like, same with the Cheetahs. Like, after last weekend, I thought, you know what? Cheetahs are going to lose against, they're going to lose against the Pumas. That was my Super Brew pick. And I was like, yeah. and if they lose against the Pumas, they're probably going to lose against the Griquas, and more than likely they're going to lose against us and the Bulls. So already that would be them out of contention. But as we know, anything can happen in the game of rugby, and the Cheetahs have shown that. One thing that did strike me about the Cheetahs, though, a small thought hit me. They're being coached by Francois Steyn. And I'm like, okay, you can see that in some of the recruitment, because people that they've brought in, right? They have Tian Swanepoel, massive boot. James Verity-Ann, massive boot. And then Makaza from UCT, also massive boot. And you get the feel that, like, Francois Steyn has a type that he's trying to mold there. And it makes sense because now, when it comes to penalties, they kick from pretty much anywhere. It also means that you can go for 50-22s. You can do all these things. Like your territorial game will be that much better when all those guys click.
Yeah. But do you think in the Curry Cup you really need that big boot? Maybe in a more experienced, maybe a higher level like the URC, maybe it will pay off. But I agree with you, and it's interesting what you're saying about the boot, But for me, at this stage, and Francois Steyn is one of my favorite rugby players of all time, but I don't really see him as a coach, to be honest. I don't know. He'll probably gain some experience. But I think he was thrown in the deep end at the Cheetahs. All of a sudden he was farming, and then you just see he was a CEO, and now he's the coach as well. So I don't know if that was the right way to do it. I don't know. Just my personal opinion about the whole Francois Steyn being a coach.
Yeah, I also have my doubts. Let's say, especially after the first week, I was looking and I was like, guys, what's going on here? Is this the guy to lead the Cheetahs going forward, or is it a question of the teams adapting to what he wants them to do? Yeah, but then, who did they face? They faced the Pumas, who after week 1, I was like, oh, you know what? Pumas are they've shown, they're in the hunt, and Pumas did not seem to be clicking this past week. And again, any team can have an off week, but it was just weird because, a lot of the time people will say, like, win, lose, or draw, Pumas look like a well-coached team. They didn't quite look it. I don't know what happened.
True. No, definitely. It was unlike the Pumas, to play that sort of rugby. And I think maybe this will be a wake-up call for Stonehouse. But yeah, I was also surprised with the Pumas, really.
Yeah. But now here's the thing,
I
right?
think? Sorry, I think the Pumas, the playoff, what this is, I don't think he fit in that. I don't know. It seems to me he's under pressure. What he doesn't do good. So I think they must start looking at that position in the Pumas, because I can't remember his name now, but I saw the match, and you can see if you're going to put a lot of pressure on him, run onto him and things like that, he's going to crack. And I think there's the problem for them now. It's in that position as playoff. They must start looking there. I don't think that guy's
Yeah, which is good to know, right? I mean, better they find this out now, early in the season, than than later. I'm just trying to find the name. Is it
Ashton David?
No, Ashton Davids is the Bulland. It's a Bulland fly half. They only have one announcement where it was Danak Vasaki.
Versace, yeah. Where's Clinton Swart? Because he's still in the setup there because he's experienced.
I think he's the one now who's the
12.
playoff.
Yeah. But sy
Yeah.
die okay. Dit is actually nog steeds gesê dit van dit is nogal 'n baie it's a very experienced guy, Clinton Swart. But you're actually mentioning a thing now, Peter, because that's where the whole bull game, especially in Currie Cup, when you're attacking. So I don't know. Maybe it was a game plan that Stonios had. I don't know, but it's quite interesting. Yeah. So he was the number 10. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Clinton Swart.
But
Was it Clinton Swart? Or Versace?
So it was Fasaki for game 1, but I think it might have been Swartz now for game 2. But the weirdness is though, yeah. But here's the thing: it's like considering Pumas, like that isn't a game they'd. I'm wondering, like, why would it be a game they experimented with, particularly if you had a combination that won a game for you? Why tweak it if you don't necessarily have to? So maybe there was a case of injury, and that's why they shifted people around. Yeah, but it's a bit of an odd one. Also, does this mean they don't have the depth? Where it's like, okay, you lose one guy, and now if Swart's not performing there, instead of shifting him to 12, like maybe you make a substitution of that. You carry on with him for how much of the game? Yeah, I don't know.
You know what, guys, impressed me a lot, man? Is playing for the Bulls is Peter Chamberlain at fullback. I'm surprised. I can remember all the matches that they were playing in the URC for the Sharks. When we played them in Durban, that last kick, he missed it. I would always say, this guy under pressure can't be former. Now he's looking actually at home at fullback, and he's still
he is. But I think
the post also now.
Yeah, because my thinking there is like I'm really happy for him, but the Bulls have not been tested yet.
Yeah.
Sure, Province started to come back a little bit in game 1, but where this past week they put 64 on the Sharks.
Yeah,
with no reply. But I suppose that's the type of game you want to have early on, so you get comfortable before you get a game that really tests you.
What I want to ask you guys, do you guys think after Wellington game against Boland, what do you think our chances are going to be versus the Bulls? I haven't seen one of the Bulls games. You guys know I don't watch Bulls games unless we play them. So why are they so dangerous? What do they do right to just disturb the teams? I mean,
I think they like to play if you take, sorry, Niels. As you look, and the coach now of the Bulls is the Art Free State Louis File a few years ago, Simba. And he likes attacking rugby, And I think that's just his whole plan now. They like to attack, but no one put them under pressure yet. No one put them under pressure in the scrums or defense or whatever. So they look good because there's no reply from the other team. So they can do what they ever want to. When you're going to put some pressure on them and defense is going to be good and you're going to start running back to them also, then I think there's the problem's going to come. Where's the problems that good to them in the first half? Really well. But in the second half, they disappear. Province.
Yeah. But I think also with the Bulls, forward dominance is the name of the game for them. Because they're able to bash it up in a way where as soon as you're on the back foot, they then spread it. And that's where Kennedy Itzimba comes in as the skills coach and everything. You can see his fingerprints all over what they're doing, it really is that where, like, once they get moving, they are doing very well at keeping the ball alive, such that you can't set your defense fast enough.
That makes me a
And I
bit
like to
worried.
go there to the weak spot.
Moya, with you saying that the forward dominance, do you guys hear me?
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
okay. With their forward dominance,
Mhm.
that's the thing we lacked in our first game actually against the Sharks, and
Yeah.
then we gained a bit with the Stormers, with the Province. So that's a bit worrying for me if you say that they massive with the forwards, like with URC. So it's a typical blue ball type of rugby, but they can run at you as well. Is
Yes.
that what you guys are telling me?
Yeah. So they're making sure, like, set piece always on point, but the thing is now they're being a bit more dynamic than in URC, but I think that's also because the opportunities are presenting themselves more readily, because having faced Province and the Sharks, they've just been able to bulldoze them, excuse the pun, and then just have enough space to then spread the ball.
Yeah, I also think that it's going to be again a good balance of two experienced teams in the Currie Cup now that will play against each other. But we've got 3 away games now. So are we playing the Bulls at Loftus or at Ellis Park?
If I remember correctly, yeah, Ellis Park. Once we're back, because it's now we've got Bulland, then we've got the Cheetahs.
And
If
then
I
we got
remember
the
right,
Pumas.
yes,
Pumas on the 16th.
Mhm.
And then we got what are we now? Then we got the Pumas.
We played them on the
Yeah.
30th, the Bull. Okay.
Yes, yeah.
This weekend we play Cavaliers. Okay. Burland. And then after that we playing where we are. Then we play
Cheetah-
Pumas in
Oh,
Port
the Pumas.
Elizabeth. Mpumalanga, wat is Nelspruit.
Mhm.
We play the Pumas on the 16th.
Then it's Cheetahs on the 23rd. Sorry, because I know it was Cheetahs on.
Yeah.
Yeah, there we go.
And then on the 30th of August, then we play the Bulls in Johannesburg.
Mm-hmm. And
And
then
then our
lastly,
last
the Greek
one
one.
is against Griquas also at Joburg.
Yeah.
Oh, thank goodness. Not on
So
that
we
dry
play 4
Kimberley
times.
field.
I'm glad we're playing the
Yeah.
Bulls at home. I'm glad we're playing them at home and not in Loftus.
Yes, stem. And what we must also try and do is, have that top spot, because now we play second, so we must try and get as much bonus points as we can, and points difference,
Yeah.
obviously. And
Yeah.
I think the game with the Bulls will be crucial, so that we can at least have a final, at Ellis Park. How nice will it be to have a full Ellis Park, or say 80%, where it's not a test game at Ellis Park for a local game? That will be awesome, really. That will help a lot with
I think this weekend, I think the Pumas is going to surprise the Bulls. I don't know why, but I just get that feeling.
Is it?
Okay.
I think Griquas is going to win Western Province. Can't see
Yeah.
Friday night or Friday
Yep,
afternoon.
I think so.
And then Saturday, Bulls and Pumas. I don't know. I get that feeling. Pumas, everybody's like, oh, no, the Bulls doing well. Even maybe the Bulls can think, okay, we have this one, and then the Pumas can come and upset, because Stone he loves to play the Bulls. Doesn't matter Loftus or where, he loves to play them. He always bring his best for a game like that. And then the
that will be
Cheetahs and
great.
Sox, and then we play the Burland. I'm scared of Burland. I don't know why, but
No, look, I think they're definitely going to bring it, especially because they're at home. That's the big thing for me, is that when we go in, we need to be about our business. You know what I mean? We cannot allow them to get a foothold.
Right.
I think if our guys watched the game Bulland played against the Griquas, they'll be looking at that being like, yeah, guys, this is how quickly the complexion of a game can change, because Bulland were down by what? I think it was 2 or 3
15.
points. Oh,
what?
yeah. Like they were down, and then suddenly it was 2 or 3 quick tries before halftime, and they're sitting on 30 something. It's like, oh, they went from 2 tries to suddenly they've got the bonus point and they've scored an extra try. That's how quickly things can change.
And I saw what happened today. The moment you give their backs the free backs, the ability to start running at you. I saw the guys now moving. They are fast. Everything they do it on speed. They act in speed and so on. So the Lions defense must be up to date. Otherwise, it's going to be a long afternoon. I don't see we're going to lose to them, but they can make us run and work for a win.
Let's do predictions. Let's do predictions on the Lions Boland game. While we're speaking of it, I will go first. This is going to be arrogant Lions by 15.
The 1-5.
1-5.
Yeah, 1-5.
Okay.
All right. I'm going Lions by 5.
I don't know. I'm scared. Actually, I'm very scared about this one. I don't know why, but I'm I'm not going to make any prediction.
Kom maar daar 102.5 van jou, Pieter.
Dis ek is sagtig ek is bang vir hulle. Ek weet nie hoekom nie. Ek voel net scared.
Rules is rules, Peter. You must make a prediction.
I say they're gonna make it 6 for them. I'm going for Verland. I'm sorry, guys, but I don't know.
So Berlin by 6. Okay.
I'm scared of it.
It could happen. Like we hope it doesn't happen, but it is a possibility. I think. Look, I want to say as well. Yeah, but then I think that part of the problem is, because we haven't played the teams they've played yet. It's also difficult to say, right? Because, for example, if we come in and we just show that, we are actually levels better than Griquas and Cheetahs, then we'll be fine. One friend of mine who's a Bulls fan, I told him as well. I was like, we need to be careful with Bulland. And he's like, you know what? These guys have played 2 massive games in a row. Physically and mentally, they will not be up to a third because it's just, like they have played a lot of rugby. They've had to do a lot, and this is a step up for them. I told him I hope he's right. I really do. But at the same time, even if Boland do step up, we need to be prepped for them.
Yeah, and let's not forget about Renzo du Plessis. I mean, if he's playing his game like he's been playing for the past few weeks, months, I mean, and the way he bumped the guys on Saturday again, I mean, he's just a monster. So let's say we do have a wet game and it's going to be slippery. We still have a Renzo that can play a tight game and a loose game, and then he accelerates. So I don't think we'll. Yeah, no, I'll say by 10. I'm also like with Peter. Ek is ook nogal bang vir daai Warrington, and I'm pretty much, I rate Boland, but I still rate us with a 10-point win.
Yeah.
So we have Lions by 5. We have Lions by 10. We have a Boland by 6, and we have an arrogant 15 for Lions.
Yeah.
Now, I just checked now the points difference and so on. I don't know. I could also say maybe I think the Lions can, but we will see. I think our defense is better. I hope so, because we didn't play the Pumas yet. We didn't play Cheetahs. We didn't play Griquas. You understand? So I think we're going to put to the test in the first half. But I think if we can just ride it and not allow them to get 15 points quickly or 2 tries quickly, I think in the second half we're going to smash them. But we mustn't try to play catch-up rugby, because those guys loved it. The moment you start running and make mistakes, they are bouncing so fast on the ball. You can't believe it.
Well, and I think that's what Griquas did or that's the mistake they made, was there were times where they were trying to do too much, and they really didn't need to at the time, but they just tried to do too much, and Boland capitalized on that. So that's something... Yeah, but it's a weird one, and I know stats get a bit weird here, but it's like Bullant are on minus 7 points difference. We're on 62 points difference, right? But at the same time, they Bullant played, strangely enough, the team that is third on the log now, and then the team that's sixth. We've played 7 and 8.
Yeah.
So
we made them 7 and 8, Moya. We made them 7 and 8.
That is true too. That is very, very true. So I think it is that where if we've put those teams down, the hope is that we put the rest of these teams down as well. We just need to we just need to do what we can. But a question, can the Cheetahs, or actually, can the Sharks secure a win against the Cheetahs? Because I was chatting to a friend who's a Sharks fan, and I was telling him, look, essentially this is the do or die game for them. Every game now becomes a must win. So, if they lose this, particularly if they don't get a point, that's it. That they know their season's done. I honestly wonder.
I think the Cheetahs can take them, because they play in Bloom. If I remember correctly, they play in Bloom.
I think so. Yeah.
I think the Cheetahs can pull it through. But another thing, quickly. I'm staying in the Free State, in the heart of the Free State. And according to all the Cheetahs here, Ron Pienaar is the coach. Media tells Frans Steyn is the coach, but according to everybody here, is Ron Pienaar is the coach.
Then is Frans Steyn not then DOR? Maybe it's one of those where it's like, okay, Pienaar's coach, but Steyn is DOR. Also, game is in Durban, by the looks of things. Like Super Sports site shows it being in Durban.
That's going to be a problem for the Cheetahs. That's going to be a problem for the Cheetahs. But guys, can we quickly, I want to just gossip about something. Did you see about Nick White of Australia? He wanted to retire, but his retirement was postponed because they without the scrum half, and he's the only choice coming to South Africa for the first Championship Cup game. So I'm going to struggle to watch that game because I don't like that guy. I don't like that guy. I don't like his face. I like his. I just don't like him.
We need guys like that in rugby. The tennis have the guys, and you must always have a enemy, a guy that you don't like in rugby. And I think Nick White is one of those guys that I rate actually as a player, but you love to hate him because they're like that Farrell type of player. But he's in your face. But again, show me which number 9 is not an arrogant guy. But I must say, Nick White didn't have a bad game. He didn't. He was pretty good.
He was smart. He marked penalties with not taking the ball out of the scrum. I saw that one where he just kicked the ball backwards into the scrum and tried to mark a penalty for that. He's a smart player. He's a smart player.
Yeah.
But I hope we choose Faf then, because we can have a recap on what happened last time when he and Faf met each other.
I mean, look, if I'm honest, I would want to see him against Morné van der Berg. I really would.
Then he will be put to shame, I think. He will be put to shame.
You know
Yeah.
who I want to see with this whole, and I look forward because I've got a soft spot for Australia for various reasons, but I still rate them as a rugby nation, and it's not a big sport again there, and I keep on repeating myself, and that's why I want them to be competitive in world rugby. But I think that the coach there is Schmidt is doing a good job with the Australians, what he has. But how about Etzebeth and that Skelton against each other? That's going to be a monster. That guy is a monster. He weighs 145 kilos. He wears a number 19 shoe, the lock from them. It's
Yeah,
a
Will
massive
Skelton.
guy. Yeah, and what a good thing. He comes from rugby league. What a bloody good flipping rugby player. So it's going to
Yeah.
be a good matchup if Itzebeth is there against him. I'd like to see that matchup. And,
Yeah.
like a Nick White and those guys make me exciting, for Australian rugby, guys like that. And then obviously the number 12 that also comes from rugby league. And that's actually where they must draw the guys from because in Australia, the guys play rugby league and footy. They don't play rugby like in England. They also don't play rugby in the schools, So it will be
Some with the All
interesting.
Blacks, eh? In school, there's no coach, there's no teams. You have to go to a club or whatever to fritzy or rugby and what. They don't put the rugby in Australia and in New Zealand at school at all. They're more in
I didn't know
cricket and
that one.
And I think you must go to join a club for your career to play rugby at school in Australia. Nothing. That's why New Zealand say if they come to South Africa or they say, if we have the talent that you have from school, we will win the World Cup every time because you got the players.
Yeah.
One
Yeah,
of
I mean,
was coming in much better, or even better than the one that was there. You say, wow, you guys it's like it's a blessing for you guys. Let's see if they can
yeah,
get just
especially
half
because
of the
also
players we have. Yeah.
yeah, because they have a much smaller population as well. So, it's like when you
Yeah.
have a smaller population and you also are competing with people playing league and things like that, it's actually quite phenomenal that they have managed to do as well as they have, which has been and I think even to this day you still hold them as one of the standard bearers. It's weird for me where I think someone posted on one of the other groups a picture of a guy in an All Blacks jersey, like one of their players reading a book where it's like how to beat the Springboks, and like there's so many like books that
They
and
booked.
it's like
Yeah.
and I
Even
looked at
now,
that like
if you go and look, they say, I think it's on Binance Group.
mm, yeah, I think it is. I honestly just like when I looked at that, I just shook my head because I'm like, guys, we need to remember if you look at even whether it's in modern times or altogether, like yes, this is called a rivalry, but All Blacks have been winning against the Box. It's not, like let's not act like, oh, you know what, we managed to beat them a couple of times in a row. Like, yeah, they have no idea how to beat us. Like, no. They have been beating us historically, and it takes one game for them to get back to that, especially where we're playing them at a place they haven't lost in how long?
They have the blueprint. Let's be honest, they have the
Yep.
blueprint.
Mm-hmm.
And one thing I want to mention is at school level, yes. What I heard is they have it actually as a subject. It's compulsory that you play rugby, but it's a small population, right? But if you go back to where they use the Maori lineage, it comes with there's a lot of Tongan, Samoan, Fijian born players that play for New Zealand because of the Maori lineage they have. If you can prove you're some type of Maori, whether you're born in Tonga, whether you're born in Samoa, whether you were born in Fiji, you can play for the All Blacks. So it's not only one country. We must remember they have, even if you take the New Zealand players now, how many of them were actually born and raised in New Zealand? How many come from
Yeah.
Tonga? How many come from
Few.
Samoa?
Congo
Yeah.
and Cook Islands. Uh,
Mm.
Yeah, well, a
Iceland.
population of 2 or 3 million people. But yeah, they still, it's their number one sport. They must also remember that rugby isn't our number one sport in South Africa. Obviously, soccer is the
It's not
biggest.
the number one
And they all
sport,
come.
actually. Eh?
Yeah, and they come here and they still think that rugby is their biggest sport, and it's and it's unlike. But I must say, I also heard what Weber also was saying the other day. He said they don't have a problem if South Africans go and play overseas. They have to earn their money. We've got 800,000 registered rugby players at the moment. That's huge. If you take New Zealand population of 2 or 3 million people, and we've already got 800,000 registered players. I mean, we've got Turks, by far, is the biggest rugby club in the world. So we've got a huge advantage from the other teams. So I can't see us not winning the next World Cup. But yeah, New Zealand, you can never throw away.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I say, and let's just get through Australia, because that's going to be a other team, not the team we used to for the last 3-4 years. Australia, yeah, it's like we take them easy, lightweight, but it's a different team, it's a different coach, and I hear he's also stepping down. There's a new coach coming in for Australia. I'm not sure
Yeah.
if it's going to be
Let's guess.
after the championship or whenever before the World Cup, but they're going to change with coach as well.
Yeah. Well, I think he's sort of going to start working in, but it's like, it's still Schmidt's team.
But he's going to be there as well. So, yeah. Look, I'm looking at Australia and I'm saying, again, stats can be a bit deceptive, but they managed to, even though they lost the series 2-1, you put all the points together and it was like actually they lost by 1 point ultimately.
1 point. Yeah.
And got robbed in the second one.
Correct, correct. So, looking at that, yeah, we can't go in feeling like, yeah, we're definitely going to take them. The good news is, they'll be playing away, and I think also one of two things is going to happen. They might be a bit disheartened after that test series, or they might be really galvanized after it. But I think for sure there's going to be a lot of very tired bodies after that. And you can see they've lost some players to injury in that already. So yeah, we can't write them off. But if we do what we can do, I'm thinking we'll beat them.
What I read about what Rashi said before this last test of this, he said whatever's going to happen, either they lose all three, and they're going to be tail between the legs, or they're going to win the last one and going to be tails up. But he's prepared for that, so he's taking them seriously. And you guys know me and Rashi, but I have respect for that. It's not like he's saying, "Yeah, bring them this, that." He's preparing for both ways it can go. Either they come here tails up, or they come here tails between their legs. We are preparing for both of the situations, and that I can respect. That I can respect of Rashi. He's not taking them lightly. He's considering this, and this is a team that's coming to compete with us. And I think he also saw that second test. That test series was actually Australia's. Um, it was taken from let's call a spade a spade. That second test was just outright. That should have been Australia's win.
Yeah.
It should have been 2-1.
Yeah, and I still think we'll beat Australia 2-0, because it's also obviously a local game. But I'm hoping for both teams' sake that it will be a competitive game. I don't want a walkover. I've never liked any walkover games, not even in Curry Cup. It's just like a red card for me. I like a competitive game, but I think with New Zealand, it will help us obviously if we have a competitive team against Australia. But I think with New Zealand, I think because we're playing 2 away games there, I don't think it's going to be a 2-0 for us. I think we will be lucky if we have a 1-1 there, and then we can still win the championship. But I don't think we're going to win both games in New Zealand, to be honest.
Dark horse is going to be Argentina for me. What do you guys think of the chances?
Don't put them on. They just make up the lineup, or the championship. Argentina looks hungry, and yeah, Argentina is surprised. But All Blacks, yeah, I don't think Australia can beat us. But I think we mustn't also just go in and say, oh, well, they play games now, actually. So they know the players how they're doing, what they're doing, and we still have to go there and do it. So, yeah, it's lucky we got them in South Africa. But don't say, Australia, I know we can punish them because look at it. They were playing well. Second test against the Britain Irish, I also thought they should win that one. And then the last one, they were hungry. And they could come to South Africa to show we are hungry, we want to do good. We're not coming here just because, we have to.
And also, sorry, I also say with the one with Argentina, where I say we can win the championships again. We're playing Argentina 1 away and 1 at home, and the 1 away is actually not in Argentina. It's going to be in London, if I'm not mistaken. It's going to be, I don't think we're playing in Argentina against Argentina. Can I be wrong? I'm not so big.
Against Twickenham.
Just that quickly first. Let's just go and check that one. Happy championship.
Is it going to be played in Twickenham?
Someone in England.
So neutral ground.
I just want to see Springboks. Okay, let's see. Springboks, Australia, South Africa, New Zealand.
While Peter is looking out for us, I feel that is the one thing that's going to be dangerous for us is
4th
Argentina.
of October. It's in Twickenham. In England.
Twickenham. At least we had good results before the World Cup at Twickenham with the All Blacks there. So maybe Twickenham will be graceful to us. But like I was saying, I agree that Australia, we're going to win both of those tests. I hope there's going to be close games. But New Zealand, also agree with Elias there that I don't see we're going to win both of them. If we do, I will be grateful. But letting one slip there won't throw the baby out of the bathwater. And then Argentina just come with something. You remember the last time we played Argentina, we sent that, let's call it a B team there, and we got hammered. You remember that? It was last year championship or the year before. It was last year. We sent a kind of a B team there, and they got the win on us.
Yeah. And they also beat England recently. So they are on a high.
And the British and Irish Lions as well.
They came back. They were behind twice. 2 times in that one, they came back to win it. They were behind, and they came back, and then they were behind again, and then they came back again doing that one.
They're being that team that just won't go away.
Yeah. So next week we're going to see what's going to be how's the squad going to look like. What do you guys think? Is he going to be more conservative, Rassi? Stick with the big guns for Australia, or he's going to save his big guns when we travel to New Zealand? What do you guys think?
I think he's going to put his best in for the first one to make sure we're winning, and then maybe bring some guys in. But I don't think he would do it against New Zealand in New Zealand to take a B squad or second base on what because he knows they will play France, but not a strong one. But you can never and All Blacks is the All Blacks in New Zealand, and they're picking up. They start playing a good rugby again.
Well, I wonder if the plan is to do. I think kind of like Neil was saying, like first game, you go full strength, and then you send some of the key guys to New Zealand early. And then you can rotate a bit for game number 2. Yeah, but you at least know, again, it's like you have the spine of the team already in New Zealand preparing. So, when guys come through, you can then, you have guys who are definitely fresh for that.
And that's something Rassi does. He's been doing it a couple of while ago. Yeah, I can see that happening.
Yeah.
But you think the guys being called up like Pete, I seen Pete, they're only going for a training camp just to get introduced to the box system. Do you think he will actually play one of them in the championship?
What I was hearing, you're going to be there for 2 weeks and then they're coming back to the provinces. You see, he's not going to choose them now.
Yeah, because he was saying he just wants to introduce them to the system.
Maybe he will bring them back when we're at Argentina.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe you will put them back. It was because I saw something say that he's just going to use them for 2 weeks and then he's going to send them back. He said they're not going to play now. There's no chance they will. I think he might just see how it goes. If we after New Zealand say, okay, we can win the the championship, then he's going to maybe bring these guys in when we go to Argentina. So, you know what, we can lose one. It's not a problem. Bring these young players in, give them that experience to come and play there. Of course, now we're safe. We will win this, and then maybe he will bring them back into the squad. But he said, no, we don't. We just want to bring them in the environment of the Springboks, preparing them for the future.
And that's a crazy thing. Russia has such a big squad to choose from. New guys to bring in, that some with caps, some without caps. He can play around. And in some way, it's an advantage for us. But I can see why the other international teams hate us because of that. Because they don't have that. Like many of you guys mentioned. Many of you guys mentioned on a podcast already a couple of months ago that Rassi can field 3 teams and be competitive. He's 323, so will be competitive.
And he also said that, we don't have a number 110. We've got 3 number 10s that we can use anytime. So I think that keeps the guys guessing the whole time. And he said he does that because he wants the guys to guess, are you going to play a Pollard? Are you going to play a Lebok? Are you going to play a Sasha? They never know. And I don't even think we know until flipping a week before the time which number 10 he's going to be playing.
But if I'm him, I will go now for Sasha.
Yeah.
I think I will bring for the first one against Australia. I will bring Sasha in as my number 10. And maybe Pollard on the bench. Yeah.
I think that's the way he'll go in any case. I think. But he also did say that Sacha still needs a bit more experience. So it can be a Lebok. He's always been a big Lebok fan also, So, and also with the attack. But I agree. I think Pollard will be the number 10 against New Zealand. Especially in those conditions. Flipping, it's always raining there. You need those 3 points, solid 3 points. And not that Lebok is kicking badly at this stage, but when it comes to a big test match, we don't know what will happen with the Lebok with his goal kicking.
That's true.
So if you think if we start to have Sepp Pollard, who will be scummy? Will it be Reinhardt or will it be Williams? Or will you think you will put, what's his name? Monet.
Play Monet in Joburg.
Maybe they will they'll take Reinhardt with them, Kobus, to when they go to New Zealand because he's big, strong, and you need that.
Yeah.
For that,
So,
for the players, I think.
yeah. I mean, look, if I'm honest, the thing I would do, although, mind you, it is technically a bit risky, but I would say start Monet van der Berg, and then, or no, actually, start Grant Williams, have Monet on the bench, send Grant Williams then to New Zealand. You then start Monet in the second test, and you have Reinach on the bench. That way you're sure, because Grant Williams really showed, like, he's put him with any of our 10s and he'll get that back line firing. So I would say he's definitely in the driver's seat there. Monet's still new, so again, it's like, you can have him come on later in that first game, and then if things go well, especially have him start the second game.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Are we talking about if Pollard starts? Who's going to be the 9?
Be the 9,
I was saying, yeah. But I think Williams will work well with any of them. But yeah, if Pollard's the 9, yeah, I would say definitely still Williams.
You guys know how I feel about Pollard. So if Pollard has to start, then give him Jaden Hendricks because both of them are slow.
I agree with you. I agree with you.
Yeah, but we'll see. But just like the other day, like I mentioned, I don't know if you guys heard me a couple of minutes ago. Rashi can pull something and field 4 scrum off. So we don't know what to expect. Only he knows what's going to happen. So hopefully, when did you say the squad is going to be selected and the team? It's going to be Thursday, Friday, Tuesday, because Rashi likes to do it early sometimes, like on a Tuesday, at the latest on a Wednesday. Did you guys hear anything of when are we going to see how the Bok team is going to look like?
I haven't heard anything.
They said it's 10 days left, so I think by Monday, Tuesday. I don't even that. Yeah, I was there over the weekend or on the latest Tuesday next week. Maybe the team will be announced. I think there's 10 days left. Start before we start in the first one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's 10 days. Yeah.
Now, if it's Tuesday, if it's going to be Tuesday or Monday, how about over the weekend? We guess what team how the team is going to look like we did a couple of podcasts ago. Are you guys up for it?
Yeah, let's do it.
Sê gou weer, Niels. Sorry.
As ons so ruk terug het ons ons Springbok span en ons Karibeker span onthou jy het ons mos so voor die tyd gesê wat ons dink wat se span met ons Karibeker. Nou dieselfde met die Bokke. Dan raai ons nou maar maar die keer, die vorige keer was gewees wat ons sou wou gesien het. Die keer kom ons raai wie Rassie gaan kies.
Okay. Yeah, that sal lekker wees. It sounds good. Yeah. Before, when do you want that?
Let's do it on latest Sunday afternoon. We WhatsApp those through to the group, and then when the squad reveals itself, then we know, okay, you can't change anything because you already put your squad together.
Oh yeah.
All right.
Yeah, of course, we don't know what's going to happen. Maybe we're going to switch the podcast again to a Wednesday night, or if we do it on a Tuesday night, then Rassi announce the squad.
Yeah, he might have announced by then. Yeah.
So let's give ours through on Sunday, and then we discuss it on the next podcast. Whether you were wrong or right doesn't matter. We just give our opinion on what we thought Rassi would choose.
Yeah.
All right, sure. That will be will do.
Anything else you guys want to talk about quickly?
No, I'm good.
No, all good, my side.
It's not that I got something, but it's not on the right piece on the cricket. I was watching this World Cricket Legends that was in England, and the way AB was playing, even some of the guys said he must make a comeback now. The
I
guy
also
was
said-
on. One match he got 6, and all the other matches 100 plus. I was watching them, and then they see even the people from IPL say they're going to start looking for him to come back because he still have it.
Once he announces
So,
he's coming out of retirement, IPL will snatch him up. But if he comes,
the one guy even they say they must bring him back. They must tell him to get out of this retirement and get back because you still have it for a year or two or whatever. The way he was playing, okay, some of the bowlers not that fast anymore, but the shots he was playing, because the guy he was like, this guy was off for a week or two and come back again. You see, 4 years and play like that. You said, oh man, they're gonna pick him up quickly and say, no, you have to come back.
I have two favorite sportsmen of all time, and they're not rugby players. And many years ago, AB de Villiers is one of my all-time favorite sports stars, and my other one is Mike Tyson. Those are my two favorites. Always been for the past 15 years or so. Those two guys have been my favorites. So yeah. I don't think he'll make a comeback at 41 years old. But he was bloody great. Even that fielding, that catches that he did, and that's why it's called 360. But it's much more popular in India than it's in South Africa. And that's obviously now those guys were raving about him, rooting about it for him. So I think
even Kohli. They were talking to Virat Kohli and asked him, did you see this guy playing now? And he said, yeah. He said, they are very good friends. And he said to him, he said, at the point, at a few years, a time when he was playing, he was more popular in India than I was in India. Virat Kohli.
Yeah.
He said, the way the guy was playing and the way he's playing now, he said, you can't believe it. 4 years, not... You say, wow. Yeah, this guy's got the talent. You say, maybe he must just say, you know what, I stopped retirement to come back. You see, he's got the money. But if you can bring back a Springbok player, what player will you bring back? If you can say, okay, a player that stopped a few years and say, okay, I want to bring this guy back, become a player at again, who would that be? Just think about it, and then now we can maybe next week talk about.
Okay.
There's one player that I would love to get back, bring back, back. Seriously, Elton Yankees.
Yeah.
no praat jy, Pieter. No praat jy.
I would love to bring that guy, but doesn't matter for what province he's playing or whatever, just to bring him back. He was starting that kicks for the Wings, and then everybody follows. He was the one who started that, and everybody said, you can't do that. And look now, everybody's doing this, and it's just, Elton Yankees, everybody's got problems. Everybody's not perfect, naughty, he's just open. He's just open to it. I think other players also doing things. Yeah.
I remember when we used to play Super Rugby, and Elton just came onto the scene. How many of the All Blacks or the Super Rugby All Blacks coaches like Crusaders and the Blues, how they raved about him and said, if there's one player of South Africa they will put in the All Blacks or in their teams, either Crusader would be Elton Yankees.
Yeah.
That's a lot. Yeah. If they ask me to bring a guy back, I will go to him and say, I want you to come back and play rugby again. I think he still have it.
Yeah. Yeah, but the one thing of Elton is now this drug thing. When he comes back, when he's ever allowed to play again, his age will be against him, and that's unfortunate that happened and all the other stuff. But if that didn't happen, where would Elton be? Maybe a Springbok.
Today, yeah.
Yeah, or maybe still at the Lions or played his rugby in Japan or wherever. But that's unfortunate. That's a shift that sailed. Like many other Springbok material type of guys that just things happen and they just got out of the system. And that's unfortunate. That's truly unfortunate. But there's also place for just this few. Um, would he have slotted into Rusty's plan? Yes, with Tony Brown there.
Mm.
Yes, there would have been a place for Elton Yankees, definitely.
Yeah.
But bygones is
And
bygones.
also, yeah, man, you could just go and play cricket, because in cricket you can snort coke, but you might just not use steroids. It's actually so ridiculous, you know. I mean, snorting coke is much more harmful to your body than using normal Winstrels that he used. And if you know anything about steroids, you'll know that's like, man, it's a very light steroids that he used. And it's only in your system for a few days, you know. It's not like he used Napalin or anything strong. So, yeah, I think it was a bit hard done by Alton Yankees.
Yeah.
But maybe he must go into the boxing because he's a good boxer. He must play the part of Sonny Bull.
Yeah.
Can you remember that there was this match between him and Lion Mapu, that the boxing for money for something, and they say he was moving. He was good. He was. Yeah.
Yeah, he's actually a quite good boxer. He's actually very good. But like I say, go the road of Sonny Bull Williams, make a lot of money when you go into the boxing ring. Yeah, a Quade Cooper.
Yeah.
There's a lot of rugby players that turn to boxing. So that's another avenue.
And oddly enough, it's the guys with good footwork.
Yeah. Imagine Cheslin Colby.
Yeah.
The next Muhammad Ali. Fly like a butterfly, sing like a bee.
Yeah, exactly. Especially because if he can punch like he runs, wow. just know people are in for they're in for a tough time.
Guys, we're talking silly now. Let's stop this. We can discuss it further on the WhatsApp.
Who do you guys think is going to be the fullback? Damien Williams, Farsi, or Valerie?
Probably
that's good point. I would go for Farsi. I don't know why, but I don't know. Valerie, no, I don't think so. No.
I will go for Farsi, but Rasi's going to go for Valerie.
Yeah,
I would go Farsi, and in the wings maybe Colby and Cote Orense, or I don't know, Mapipi. I don't know.
No, I don't think Mapimpi's in the squad. He's on standby, if I remember right. So Arns and Colby will probably
know by next week.
Yeah, exactly. And we'll make our predictions and share by Sunday, and then we'll find out what the man in charge does.
Cool.
Yeah, just somebody post the group, the squad that's been selected, and the touring squad on the group, because I've missed that somehow.
I don't think it's out. Or hang on. Actually, no. Wait, I think it is out because it was. I think they announced it.
Group, eh?
Yeah, because I think they announced it like a while back anyway. Because they released a few guys and they were like, okay, these guys are on standby and that. So I'll try to find that and resend as well.
Please do, Moya, so I can do my homework. I can't put players in my 23 if they're not there. It's gonna be too
no, exactly.
Bye bye, Yella.
Cool.
Cheers,
Bye,
Yella.
guys.
Bye.
Bye, guys. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.